Hello, this is the inaugural video of hopefully what is a lot. I'd like to discuss things in the realm of comics, collecting, baseball cards, anything that basically labels us as a geek or a nerd in society, and we're proud of it. This initial video, I'm going to try to cover some of the items that are essential. These are things that you're going to want to have other than actually bags and boards, which I'll get into in another video. I'm talking about just the kind of the tools of the trade. Okay, now if you're going to be buying packages online, whether it's through Facebook or Craigslist or eBay, which a lot of people do, they are going to come packaged. If you're going to get things coming in from ZGC, from graders, they're going to come packaged. You want to have a way of opening these up. Now, everybody's just going to say, yes, use a box cutter, which I agree. But you want to make sure that, these are not Wolverine claws. Okay, we do not want to extend them 18 inches. We do not want to open packages with the blade all the way out. This is a recipe for disaster if the book or whatever you have is just on the inside. Trust me, I know. All right, so you want to use your blade with a minimum, the blade as minimum out as you need. Now, the best ones that you can get actually have a lock in the back. So as you're pushing, you can't accidentally stick that blade back out any further. If you don't have one with that and you set it where you want it to, and then you go to cut and all of a sudden accidentally push that blade out and slice off a nice chunk of the cover of your comic book that you just purchased, you're going to regret it. Okay, so you can pick these up in most Lowe's, Home Depot, or you can just go on eBay or Craigslist where you just bought your comic book and order one. Going to shows is a big thing. Hopefully we'll all get to do again someday. And if you're watching this someday in the future, this was made back in 2020 when the world stopped and it sucked. So going to shows, you're going to want to have ways of really checking out those books. If they're graded books like the ones you see behind me, there's not much you can do about it. If you're buying a raw, you want to make sure that you're getting what you're paying for. Okay, so some of the things that I bring to shows, and I like to bring a flashlight. Now, I personally like this wider one. I'm going to try to angle it down so you can see the blade, the light is entire length here. So if I'm checking out something on a comic book, I get a wide area and I can look for those little ticks on the spine, especially on some off colors like white where you can't see them very well. This will help you see them better. I don't know how good the lighting is going to be in the shows that you're at. Most of it's going to be fluorescent or metal halide. Hopefully it's not sodium because that's going to throw off the yellow cue. Trust me on that one too. Anyway, a simple little magnifying glass. Okay, if you see something that you're not quite sure of, pull out the magnifying glass, look at it. If you're buying a book that is $10, $20, and you're not worried about little tiny things, you just want to get the book, okay. But a lot of people are going to shows and they're spending $500, $1,000 on a raw. If you're looking at possibly getting a book that you want to have graded as a 9.8, and you think, hey, this is a great candidate, the worst thing is you sold yourself on this, you paid top dollar for a raw, you picked it out, and you get home and you send it in for CGC and it comes back as a 9.6, which is a great grade of a book. It's not a 9.8. You're going to be disappointed. And if bringing something simple as a $2.99 at Staples magnifying glass along with you, it is going to save you from making that big mistake or error in judgment in grading when you're there on site. That's what you want to do. Okay. One of the other things, and this mainly applies to older books, you're not going to see a lot of people with these. I personally bring it. And even though my particular model is big and bulky, I like it. It's a UV flashlight. Okay, now it looks like a regular light to you guys right now, but if I were to go up against the book, you could actually see the hues of the purple lighting. Okay, this is also great if you're going on vacation. Check out your bed sheets and your bathroom with the lights off in the hotel room when you go, and you call up management and tell them, hey, you're going to need to give me a discount on the room because this room is nasty. Don't feel like it's a bad room. Basically, every room in the world is nasty, but if you can prove it, you'll make your money back. Now, I got this one actually a Gator cable online. I just needed one I didn't care much about. It was $7.99 on eBay, free shipping, no tax. I'm like, all right, for $8, I'll give it a shot. It's better than the $50 one that they issue me at work. Okay, this thing is really, really a great light, and I recommend these guys. Okay, one of the other tools that I personally have, and I'll get into this in another video, is I'm learning to start pressing my own books. I bought myself a nice little heat press. And if you watch no other videos in the future, and you only watch this one, and you take away one thing, if you're going to buy your own heat press, don't look under the category comic book press. Look under t-shirt press. They are exactly the same presses for half the price. Apparently, the industry has learned that if they know you're going to be using the press to press comic books, you're willing to spend more money. But I got a t-shirt press, which it's exactly the same one, and it comes with all the attachments for doing mugs and thermoses and baseball caps and plates and things that I'll never use, but it's fine. The one thing that's wrong with it, and I love it, I'm not going to get rid of it. One thing that's wrong with it is that there's no way to calibrate the temperature to what you actually get. So I learned the hard way by melting a few books. Yeah, it's really sad too. Come out like a solid piece of cardboard and go crack. I had it set to 155, and I can't even touch it. It's burning hot. And I'm like, what the hell? I know I can handle that kind of temperature. Finally, I went and got a temperature gun. Now, this is not the same one that everybody's using on their foreheads for coronavirus. It's plus or minus 5 degrees. It's $29 or $25, whatever, at Lowe's and Home Depot. If you point it at something, you'll see a laser dot come out, show you where it is, and then when it's done, it tells you what the temperature is. Now, in between each cycle of my press, I go and I check the hot plate and see what the temperature is. And I found out that 100 degrees on the digital display is 155 degrees. 95 degrees is 145 degrees. And I have myself a little conversion chart. It's fine. I'm okay with that as long as it remains consistent. So just to make sure that the thermocouple, the thermometer does not burn out on it, I check it every single cycle. It only takes me a second. Boom, check the temperature. I'm still good. I'd rather take that time instead of melting another Marvel point, Marvel Action. I mean, yeah, another expensive comic book. One of the other things is I would recommend if you go to a show is bring a backpack or some means of carrying around the books. Dealers will gladly give you a plastic bag, but once you walk away from the table, if your bag gets hit, they don't care. You bought the comic books from them. I mean, they do care, but you know what I'm saying. A lot of people like to bring a backpack. Bring a wider backpack, not the slender ones, not the triangular ones, a wider backpack. Now, if you order comic books, and a big shout out here to Street Level Hero, I love these guys. To get the boxes in from them for their Monday Madness, keep them. Okay, these are great. If you put one of these into your backpack, okay, and you go through the dollar bin, the $5 bin, and you get yourself a nice comic book, it fits right in. Okay, and then you're not getting that one from the $5 bin. And if you are, you got to tell me where that $5 bin is too, so we can, we'll get a couple ourselves. But this will hold 20 books, 25 books. Put them in as you go. Shove them into your backpack. Okay, it's safe. It's not going to get damaged. So the question you're going to ask is, what happens if you're buying slabs? Well, I've got an answer for you, or at least my answer. It doesn't have to be yours. I love this room. Anyway, I went over to Walmart and I got this. This looks bulky. This looks horrible. I understand, but do you care what it looks like as long as it gets the job done? There's the question for you. And me, I'm sure that I could spend the money and get a nice attaché case. I really don't care. This actually has multiple pockets, and in every one of these pockets, I can throw a slab in here. I went to one of the shows. I had 25 slabs in this thing. It was heavy, but every slab was individually protected. They didn't rub against each other. I mean, I didn't have to. I still have the plastic bags that CGC sends them with. I hate the dang things because they look like use prophylactics. Anyway, they're not good quality. I know that they make better quality ones, but I just don't want to buy a bag to put into a slab, whichever. Excuse me. What I just think, though, is that you should have a simple way, because you don't want to be spending your time focusing on the books that you just bought. You want to just get them, put them away, and continue enjoying the show. Same thing goes for going to a comic book store. Most comic book stores are not going to give you a box to take your books home with. I go to one place, it's here in North Georgia, and they'll take a newsletter and just wrap it around the comics. You buy $100 worth of comics, and they're still raw. They're not even in plastic bags. They wrap a newsletter around it, shove it in a plastic bag, and go, here you go. And I'm like, it's gentle, jeez. You know, I spent 20 minutes going through all the copies that you have to find the ones that's no tick, and you're like, here. um, Again, it's your hobby. You have to do what, if you are just buying the comic books so you can read them and you can enjoy them, and you don't care whether it's a 9.4, 9.6, 9.8, then don't worry about any of these things. Enjoy the hobby. And that's the bottom line. Okay. If you are trying to get the books that will be the absolute best condition, so you can either grade them and flip them, or grade them and keep them, or keep them raw and look at them 20 years from now and say, wow, I've had this thing bagged and it still looks brand new and I didn't have to have it graded and it still looks like a great book, or whatever is your method, make sure that you have the tools you need to get you there. Okay. I want to thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please smash that like button, because it helps the algorithm for YouTube and lets people know to continue watching me. If you want to get more information like this, feel free to subscribe. Love to see you. And leave comments down below, positive or negative. I learn from them all. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.